rules as specified by the NABF.
No 3 knockdown rule tonight, no standing 8 count. A fighter can only be saved by the bell in the final round. Only the referee can stop it. Under 3 rounds, a technical draw. If there's an accidental foul, over 3 rounds, you go to the scorecards. Whoever's ahead wins.
Well, all the preliminary business has been done. What's left to do is have a boxing match. Let's go up to Jake Gutierrez for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Incorporated, along with Arizona Charlie's, Budweiser, and ESPN are proud to present the featured bout of the evening. The 3 judges scoring at ringside are Kevin McCarl from Helena, Montana, Bill Graham, Las Vegas, and Al Siciliano from Las Vegas. And your referee in charge is Mr. Richard Steele. And now, from Arizona Charlie's here in exciting Las Vegas, Nevada, this is the main event scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing for the NABF Super Bantamweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 122 pounds. He wears the black with red trim trunks. He is from Phoenix, Arizona. His professional record stands at 13 wins, 3 defeats, 2 draws, with 2 knockouts. Introducing the Rude Boy, Rudy Bradley. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. He also weighed in at 122 pounds. He wears the white with blue trunks, from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico. His record an outstanding, unblemished 20 wins, no losses, 16 wins by knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, the NABF Super Bantamweight Champion, Erik Terrible Morales. Here's referee Richard Steele with instructions.
Okay, your pants is up high. I'll give you guys instruction in the dressing room. I'm cautioning again, obey my commands at all times. Any questions? Shake hands, good luck.
There's Rudy Bradley, the 28-year-old. He came in here with that 13-3-2 record. He is not a puncher, he is a boxer. This guy's a puncher. He's got 16 KOs. Erik Morales, the NABF Super Bantamweight champ. He could be just a fight away from a shot at the WBC title holder Daniel Zaragoza. But, hold the phone, Rudy Bradley has seen this before. He fought Ricardo Vargas, who was all set to take on Johnny Tapia in a rematch for Tapia's super flyweight title. And he beat Vargas over 10 rounds. Vargas never got the shot again after Vargas had given Tapia a very tough fight and ended up with a technical draw.
Guys like Bradley have very little power compared to Morales. They've got slickness, able to frustrate opponents, able to use the angles, and try to get you out of your rhythm. They'll try to get Morales to speed up, hurry, lunge, and Morales will have to be cautious at times and very powerful at times on the inside.
Now, we mentioned Rudy Bradley stepping up. He normally fights at 117. He has fought as low as 115 in his life. And, of course, tonight, fighting against in the 122-pound division. He will box. He'll use all of this ring against Morales.
And though he's coming up, he will not fancy himself as a slugger. He will stay within the style that's got him here. There's a pretty good counter shot there. And Morales is not able so far to keep his left foot outside the right foot of Bradley, and so he's been following Bradley around thus far.
Here's the hook by Morales. Oh, right hand by Morales getting in the inside.
One thing about Morales, he can seemingly do nothing for a couple of rounds and then land one punch and do a lot of good for himself.
Minute left to go here in round one. It is scheduled for 12. The NABF Super Bantamweight Championship, which is held by Erik Morales, who just switches to southpaw.
Fighters do that a lot, sometimes to take a fighter out of the southpaw stance himself, but you're not going to get Bradley out of the southpaw style.
Never.
And Morales concedes the point and goes back to righty.
Getting Rudy Bradley to go to the right would be like getting Pat Buchanan to go to the left. Not going to happen. Wouldn't be prudent.
No matter what primary you're at.
Under a half minute left to go here in round one.
Go Holy.
2 seconds remaining here in round one. And it has been a tentative round one, which Bradley trying to find out what he can do. And Morales, a tackle, good hook by Morales. So Erik Morales shows Rudy Bradley why he is the NABF champ. Well, George Washington has had a pretty good week in college hoops, knocking off UMass, but then that's nothing new for them, is it? They do that on a regular basis. They'll take on Xavier tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Pacific. George Washington with some very definite tournament hopes. And you can watch that here on ESPN2 as we head toward March Madness. And Erik Morales, the Mexican champion, Mexican fighter. There's Rudy Bradley.
He's up. He's just going to stop on a buggy. Then he's going to switch back. Angle's a little bit shorter, popping. Now time up and don't get lazy, right? Ready, Rudy? Watch that right. It's lazy. See it?
We begin round two. Rudy Bradley comes out to take on Erik Morales. Bradley with only 5 days notice to take this fight. Eddie Croft was supposed to fight Morales, but he fell out of this bout.
It always seems it's the fighters like Bradley with his style who can take the fights on the shorter notice and not be too much disturbed. They're boxers anyway. They stay in pretty good shape. And you can see he's got some pretty good motor skills. And very tight round there as Morales had to rally to get his numbers.
I think probably Morales landing the harder punches of that group, but still Bradley getting his shots in. Rudy Bradley, a pesky boxer. He came in here with a nice win over Mauro Diaz for the IBC championship in the 117-pound division. Please don't make me explain all these alphabets. I just report them. I don't explain them. Ricardo Vargas, another good win, the one in December 1 that I mentioned, knocked Vargas out of a world title shot. Is the step up, do you think, at this weight a big one in terms of power?
Well, for Bradley, I think it's substantial enough. I mean, 4 pounds. In his case, though, he's not a puncher in any division, so it's not like he's going to lose personality and become one thing in one division and one thing in another. He's a boxer all the way. He's got to use the whole ring if he's going to win.
Will he feel Morales' power, though, more as a...
He certainly will. He'll feel a lot more coming at him. Not only because it's 4 pounds up, but because it's Morales, a guy with an 80% knockout ratio.
That would have an impact. We're in round two, halfway through the round. Rudy Bradley, the crafty, I love that phrase, crafty southpaw in the red, and Erik Morales, the 19-year-old phenom from Tijuana, Mexico, in the white trunks. This is a dangerous fight for Erik Morales. Make no mistake about it. Just as it was for Vargas, as I mentioned, when he fought Bradley on the verge of a title shot. You don't want to see a guy like this just before you're ready for a title shot.
These are the guys that can undress you in there. Basically, make you lose your patience, lose a good part of your skills, and make your lunch. Now, Morales hasn't fallen into that trap thus far. He's landed some pretty good right hands in this round. He's getting a little bit closer, and he set up an opening for himself there, making Bradley lead.
And you know what's interesting about Morales? He's not just your basic power puncher. He throws lots of combinations. He's just a boxer puncher, and yet he has lots of knockouts because he does have power.
Really goes downstairs very well. Now, he has made Bradley in this round get into a rumbling mode.
A shot to the body there by Erik Morales. So it looks like we're going to settle in for some rounds in this one. So go get a snack. Come on back. We have round three.
Well, Morales in a role reversal here. Forces Bradley to miss, makes it pay, and takes one on the outside himself. Morales will take that type of exchange all night if he can get it and take his chances in a slugfest.
We head into round 3. That was a pretty nice straight left hand, though, by Rudy Bradley, but you saw it didn't have a huge impact on Morales, with Bradley moving up in weight, and Bradley not a big puncher even at the lower weights. And when we look at the punches, pretty darn close.
And when you look at the numbers throughout this fight, they're going to deceive you in a sense, because this fight will be decided probably by those hard shots inside, whether or not Morales gets them off.
Unless, of course, Rudy Bradley, over the course of time, builds up a huge edge by boxing, etc.
Right. Bradley would seem to need a huge edge to win the fight. If it's close in numbers, it would seem to be Morales' fight.
Now, there's the reason with that last right hand why a Morales will land against the Bradley and others won't. He's a power puncher who throws a lot of combinations. It was the last one that got there.
So if you keep firing, something will come to you at the end. And he was in squared up position, good spot to keep on landing his shots. Bradley has been quite willing, seeming to understand that he has to make some type of a statement early in this fight.
It's interesting, and he knows he's probably got to get some kind of margin. Not running from Morales. But then Rudy Bradley is a boxer, not a runner.
Don't hold him, okay?
And even in his other matches at the lower weights, he would mix it up enough, certainly, to create a margin for himself. Nice jab by Morales. Morales is having a very good third round, I think.
And he's really digging the body very well here, too. Bradley comes up with him here. And Morales will trade in this attrition battle all night if Bradley will do it with him.
Erik Morales ranked #1 by the WBC. He was hoping to get a shot at Daniel Zaragoza, the title holder, as we showed you before the fight. One of 5 current Mexicans who have world championships. Good straight hand by Bradley. Did he hurt Morales?
He backed him up.
Wow, I don't know.
He certainly sent the message to Morales that he can't walk straight in, which Morales did in that instance, instead of shuffling over and trying to create an opening with his right hand.
Well, we told you at the beginning, Rudy Bradley would not be an easy foe for Erik Morales, and he hasn't been. Came in here on 5 days' notice.
Don't hold him, don't hold him.
Eddie Croft, who you know you've seen on our network here, a very clever boxer, puncher type, had to pull out. And how about your Morales preparing for a right-hander? Now you get a lefty. That's not too easy either. Seconds remaining here in round 3. It's been a very, very interesting round. And we assume there will be more of same. So come on back. We're back, and there is Erik Morales getting the instructions in Spanish, of course. And here's some bad news for him.
Well, whether you win rounds or whether you lose them inside that battle, messages have to be sent. And this time, Bradley was able to send one to Morales that you can't walk straight in or you'll pay a price, even if I'm not a knockout artist.
And you know what I think happened there? I think that punch slipped down and actually got him in the throat a little bit. And that is very painful. That may have been part of the reason why Morales moved backwards. We head into round 4, and Morales comes out firing with a right hand. It is scheduled for 12. I'm Al Bernstein along with Dave Bontempo. We're delighted you joined us for our Sunday night boxing. And the 2 combatants are Erik Morales in the white trunks, and in the red it's Rudy Bradley. They're fighting for Morales' NABF Super Bantamweight Championship.
Yeah, Morales opening it up, huh? 4 punches.
A huge edge.
Running away with it here. Wow, he had a 3-punch edge in the 3rd round alone.
Right hand by Morales. Well, you do have Morales winning all 3 rounds, which is quite plausible.
And everyone razor thin, obviously. I think he's been a little stronger, while Bradley has been a little cuter.
Well, of course you did. He was 4 punches ahead. He won each round by 1 punch. And
he loaded up in the last round.
Yeah, he won it by 2. The man got aggressive.
He's a little bit more cognizant of cutting off the ring in this round, Morales is. He's landed some good right-hand leads, and now they're in the countering, able to land those 2.
One thing I want to say about this fight, even though you have a lefty and a righty, even though you have a boxer and a puncher, and sometimes that formula could make for a not interesting fight. I think this is an interesting fight. They're throwing punches, they're landing punches, and they're creating some interesting situations in there.
And they're showing that this style does not have to be boring for the fans as long as the fighters want to stay active and keep trying to do things off of their strategies, which is what we've got. Morales is constantly trying to cut off the ring. Bradley, as the heads came together, Bradley is trying to do some things on the angles.
About a minute left to go here in round 4. Is there blood on the nose of Rudy Bradley? Could be. I'm looking. I thought I saw a little blood there.
And the heads came together earlier just before that as well.
And I'm even wondering if that came from his eye. Now there's Morales. He's a little angry because they blasted heads and he just kind of pushed Rudy Bradley away.
And you also see with this style why there might be some more pushing off, as Morales wants to get room. Doesn't want Bradley all over this ring.
Rudy Bradley, you can tell, is a very, very crafty boxer. And if Erik Morales gets through this test at 19 years of age, he will have learned a lot. Actually, even if he didn't get through the test, he would have learned a lot.
Sometimes the best fights you have are the ones you don't look the best in at all.
We'll be back for more in round 5.
Well, the heads will come together in this fight, and there they clang as you see the pain on Morales' face. But the blood is ruled to have come from a punch informed by Richard Steele in between rounds. But that is something that shows you, with these guys both trying to get positioning, that was quite a collision, too.
And ironically, no cut to Morales, but previous to that, Rudy Bradley had been cut, but Richard Steele came over and told the corner that the cut was caused by a punch.
And so he made the differentiation. So now, no penalty and none of the headbutting situations coming into play here.
We're in round 5. Close in round 4 again, as always.
Morales opening it up just a little bit there, and Bradley staying right with him.
We're in round 5. This is our main event. And a little later on, we're going to have the Bean. Butterbean is going to be on tap again. Did I say on tap? Might be an appropriate phrase for him. Morales continuing to whack away as Bradley gets between the ropes. Rudy Bradley, the 28-year-old veteran, stepping up in weight. He's from Phoenix, Arizona. Took this fight on short notice, and let's already give him kudos for the way he's performing, even though we're only halfway through the fight.
He comes in on short notice, takes on a big puncher, was not fearful of it at all. He says he likes righties, he likes power punches because he can see what they're doing. And he's given a good test thus far to Morales, who also seems to be adjusting here and cutting off the ring a little better.
I just realized that's an old newspaper phrase, kudos. Half our audience that's under the age of 35 has no idea what that phrase means. Congratulations.
And they may not remember that you had a newspaper background before you came in here.
In a previous life, as you did.
Long time ago.
Seems like a decade or two ago. It was.
Now he's had bad blood now coming out of the eye of Bradley.
Good right by Morales.
We've had punches and heads coming together here.
So that cut over the left eye, is it the right or left eye? I think it's left eye. Over the left eye of Bradley could become a factor. And it's forcing him maybe to punch more than he wants. And Erik Morales is landing more now.
He sees that right hand opening. He's going for it. He's been drawing a beat on that right hand for a couple of rounds. And it's only a matter of time before he starts landing that one crisply.
And again, the difference between a Morales and some other big puncher standing in front of you, as Rudy Bradley's finding out, is he throws combinations. And that's why he's landing more effectively.
And he doesn't seem to be in a major hurry.
He's poised. Always has been patient every time we've seen him. Big, big change in the tenor of this fight here in round 5. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Well, one of the pre-fight keys for Morales was to win the battle inside. He shows you doing it here, and his power is showing up now in this fight.
We headed to round 6. They are super bantamweights. It is Rudy Bradley in the red against the NABF champion, North American Boxing Federation champion, Erik Morales in the white.
Well, we finally have a substantial edge in a single round. As Morales ending his usual number and cutting Bradley down.
2 warnings for holding to Morales by Richard Steele. And Rudy Bradley coming out in this round like he wants to be more aggressive. There is still blood flowing from his left eye, and that may be the reason why he's becoming more aggressive. And of course, that could be a very dangerous tactic for him.
He's in a position somebody with a low knockout percentage hates to be in, and that is one of a gambler. If he doesn't open up, the problems with the eye could stop the fight. If he opens up, he could be stopped himself.
So Rudy Bradley, who boxed in the Army in 1990 at Fort Huachuca, where we spent a couple of delightful weekends for the Army Championships and Inter-Service Championships, boxed under Kenny Adams. Good left hand by Rudy Bradley. He won the national amateur title in 1990, and he's been a very good pro, but has needed a big win to vault him, and he was hoping tonight would be it, and he's doing his best to make it so.
As he tries to crowd here, Morales does not mind this. He's trying to use the ropes for some leverage to get the uppercut moving. Well, we did enjoy that swing through Fort Huachuca. That was refreshing.
That was fun, wasn't it? All the good, nice folks we met there, and we want to say publicly to all the folks that helped us out there. It was a great time. About a minute left to go here in this round. We had a little problem with our clock, which we are endeavoring to fix, but as your trusty and obedient servant, I will keep you up to date on the clock situation. Good left hand by Morales. And another good hook. He got a lot into that and a right hand.
He stunned Bradley there.
And you know, all those punches missed, but guess what? That was a good series of combinations by right hand hurts Bradley, sends him against the ropes. Rudy Bradley trying desperately to fight off the ropes and slip those punches.
And he's in Morales' neighborhood now.
Again the hook.
Be there.
Erik Morales has found a home for that hook. That was one of the keys Dave put in his keys to victory, and it has been so in this 6th round. We'll keep it right here as Erik Morales has a great round, and Rudy Bradley heads back to his corner.
Get your head down, Charlie. You're up too high. Throw some elbows in there. Let's go. Beautiful. Are you okay? Deep breath. Rudy, he's getting tired. See it? Can't let him just hit you. See the uppercut catching you from the inside. You got to block this on.
Well, Morales really taking over on the inside now. Backing up, lands a nice left hook, lands the right hand behind it, steps back, instinctively knew the punch was coming. He evades it, strong right hand there, loads up for that one. Best punch of the fight as he got Bradley moving back, and just has so many good powerful weapons, and like so many good punchers, shifts his weight.
So Erik Morales getting ready for round 7, hoping that he can maybe take Rudy Bradley out of there. He had him hurt in the last round. As you look at Bradley trying to shake the cobwebs away, here's a man stepping up in weight, facing a big puncher, and he found out in that last round just how hard Morales can hit.
And the one intangible that was going for him, the southpaw style, Morales has only fought 3, worked for a while, but Morales seems to have figured that out too now. Cutting off the ring, has thrown some right hand leads, has doubled up with his left hooks well, and has really taken over the fight.
We're in round 8, by the way. It is scheduled for 12. Rudy Bradley in the red, Erik Morales in the white, and Bradley working hard on the inside, but boy, it's dangerous for him because Morales looks like he's getting ready to counter him.
Well, not all fighters can use the ropes as effectively as Morales has here. He's leaning back on them to create space and then popping forward with the right hand and with the hooks, getting some pretty good power despite the fact he's backing up. That's like one of those subtle weapons in the sport.
Let me correct. I said round 8. I meant round 7. So we were in round 7. Not to interrupt you, Dave, but I want to make sure everybody knew where we were.
You were too busy trying to keep the clock, too.
I don't want us to lose our place.
Punching it out.
It is scheduled for 12, and right now, Rudy Bradley has a couple of problems. He's probably behind in this fight, although maybe not by a lot. He's got a cut over his left eye, and he was hurt in the 6th round. However, none of that is stopping him from doing some pretty good work here in the 7th.
He's coming in and trying to force the issue on Morales, who's quite content to lay back here and try to do what he did last round, which was land on the inside, then spin Bradley around and land some shots. He tries it and gets it there, too.
So you know what's interesting about this strategy? Rudy Bradley is such a smart fighter. He knows he might not win the battle on the inside, but for a little while, he's safe there after being hurt in the 6th round.
And that's good. It can get your senses back. It can also protect your eye, so you won't get the jabs and the long-range right hands coming in as long as you don't rub the heads.
So Rudy Bradley has gone inside against Morales here in round 7, a little bit of a surprising move, and it's had mixed results, paid a few dividends, but Morales is used to fighting here. The left hand by Bradley. The hook by Morales. Nice body work. Boy, Morales has a great double left hook, and he showed it to you there. They both land shots. But Morales's was harder, wasn't it? And Rudy Bradley spends the last part of this 7th round retreating and in trouble. We'll be back for round 8. Stay with us. That is Erik Morales and his cornerman. And this was his good work from the last round.
In the last few seconds, Morales loads up on the right hand, the left hooks as he's got Bradley covered. Really goes to work there. And just before this, which helped set it up, we saw the big left hooks downstairs, and he never took his eyes off the target. A la Chavez, a la Barrera.
Two of the great Mexican champions that in whose footsteps Erik Morales would like to follow. We head into round 8. It is scheduled for 12. And Erik Morales starts things out with a nice left hook and a right hand that lands against Rudy Bradley. Bradley, 28-year-old who stepped up in weight, took this fight on 5 days' notice. Will it all catch up to him as we go into the later rounds?
Morales doing his most dominant work in the last couple of rounds. What's interesting about his demeanor after the big 7th round and after good close to round 6, his expression did not change as he walked back to his corner. No matter how good he's done, it doesn't change.
Erik Morales is a young man who acts and comports himself like he's a lot more than 19, both inside and outside the ring. He is a delightful young man, as cooperative as you could ever want. He and his people all are great people, and he's the kind of guy that you look at and you say, the word champion really applies to him in addition to his work in the ring.
There's a certain grace that he carries, and with his composure, that's something that will really benefit him in some fights when he's in some trouble.
Under 2 minutes left to go here in round 8 as Rudy Bradley tries to peck away and see if he can make something happen. And Rudy is in an unenviable position because he's not a huge puncher, but still has to try and make some dramatic things happen in this fight. He came in, as we set up, a couple of good wins over Ricardo Vargas and Mauro Diaz, but that was at a lighter weight division, fought those fights at 117 and 119. He's fighting 122 tonight.
Morales just pounds the body as if, well, if the knockout happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, so what? The decision certainly will come.
A minute left to go in round 8. Richard Steele is the third man in the ring. He's been a cut lingering over the left eye of Rudy Bradley for the last several rounds. It has not been a huge problem. So good combination by Morales. Bradley backs him up. Well, I give Rudy Bradley tremendous credit for coming in here on 5 days' notice and fighting this good a fight, and having the courage and the will and the intestinal fortitude to sometimes fight Morales' fight because he had to.
Coming inside and getting right in front of him. This could have been the kind of fight he went ring post to ring post and just picked up his check.
Come on, don't hold him.
Work on the inside again by both men, but it is done better by Erik Morales. 4 rounds to go if it goes that long. Stay with us.
Let's go, let's go.
Well, Al, you talked about intestinal fortitude. Now here, Bradley gets tagged. So what's the one thing he does? He comes back and lands a nice right hook as he's squared up and does the best he can there, making it a fight.
So we're into round 9. It is 19-year-old Erik Morales in the white, 28-year-old Rudy Bradley in the red trunks. They're fighting for the NABF Super Bantamweight Championship. It says it right there, and it's accurate. And the title happens to be held by Erik Morales in the white trunks. I'm Al Bernstein along with Dave Bontempo. We are delighted that you joined us. We're going to have a little hiatus. We're not going to be back in terms of our professional boxing here on ESPN2 until March 31st. Joe Gamache and Greg Howard. We've got lots of other boxing in between here and on ESPN1.
And Morales, with his ever-dominant presence there, so much more accurate, even though Bradley has thrown more punches. Morales has been more meaningful.
You and I are going to be in Casper, Wyoming for the Western Olympic Trials, and also in Atlantic City for the Eastern qualifying trials that will be shown this month.
Time for the amateurs to pick up again.
Yeah.
Then the Olympic trials, we just march on through.
More fun than we need to have. Under 2 minutes left to go here in round 9. As Rudy Bradley continues to battle on against Morales. He has taken some very big shots from Erik Morales, especially 2 rounds ago. The 7th round appeared to be hurt, but has hung in.
This round seems to have hit hiatus status here. Both fighters taking a little bit of a rest, not opening it up as much. We've got 3 rounds to finish here. Bradley not attacking as much as he had in recent rounds. And Morales has not been capitalizing as much.
Morales had fought 3 southpaws prior to this, but has not had that much trouble with the southpaw stance.
You saw it tonight. He took a couple of rounds to adjust to it. Then he started cutting off the ring a little better. Never did use much of the right hand lead tonight, but has done pretty well with some double left hooks.
Half a minute left to go in round 9. Bradley continues to go after Morales. Morales looks like he's kind of almost decided to coast a little bit in this round. Morales has been 12 rounds before on 2 occasions. Bradley also has been 12 rounds once. He'll be back. That's Rudy Bradley coming out for the 10th round against Erik Morales. It has been about that Morales has pretty much dominated. Bradley has not been down, though. Neither has Morales, of course. There was a cut over the left eye of Bradley that they've done a good job in the corner on, and it has not been a major factor.
Bradley had a bit of an edge as far as punches landed, and you see Morales with, for him, anemic numbers. He did take that round off.
Yeah, very low numbers thrown and landed at first. Bradley lands on the inside. Bradley is a very quick-handed fighter. We've seen that in this bout. Walking in, though, squaring up, and he's getting nailed with the right hand because of it.
Lunging a little bit here. He has to be perfect when he makes the moves to get inside on Morales. Well, he has certainly known that he can't stay outside and just pop the jab and win the fight. He's had the guts to go inside and try to earn the respect that he needed. He just didn't have enough power. And Morales has made him pay when he came in.
Morales landing the right hand a moment ago as well as the left hook. The right has been a very effective weapon for him. young man who came into this bout with 16 KOs in his 20 wins. He is undefeated. And we've mentioned how he is ranked #1 by the WBC. Could very well get a shot at WBC title holder Daniel Zaragoza.
Zaragoza is a southpaw, so that would be an interesting matchup. Doesn't move as much as Bradley does, but he's stronger.
That would be a war of attrition. Both are Mexicans. It would be a big fight for Mexican fans. One of the biggest thrills, Morales said, was when he sold out the arena in Tijuana, put 5,000 people in there, and he said, as a youngster, he said, when I was growing up, I would have never imagined that I would be in that position. So it was a big thrill for him.
Hey, think of all those people coming in, and you're the headliner.
From your hometown, and we enjoy it. Well, here in round 10, Morales has landed many of those right hands like he just landed, and he has taken control again of things against Rudy Bradley. Well, Bradley has never been knocked out, so you wouldn't really have expected Morales to do it, even with him stepping up in weight. This is not to say it won't happen in the next 2 rounds, but Bradley very adept at staying in there. We'll be back for round 11. Stay with us.
You know how many billboards have been shown off the back of his head?
Well, he is a character, and he is immensely popular with the fans. Is he a great fighter yet? No, certainly not.
Not too much, not too much.
Will he ever be? That's still to be determined.
Thank you.
But he's fun, and the fans like it. Round 11. Rudy Bradley against Erik Morales. Morales in the white trunks and Bradley in the red. And it would look thus far as if Erik Morales' NABF title is safe. He was originally supposed to fight Eddie Croft tonight, but Croft had to pull out, and Rudy Bradley filled the breach.
Well, remember how the margin was 4 punches after 3 rounds? Well, Morales has certainly stepped it up, and therein lies his dominance. And Morales has gone through stages of this fight where at times he's been looking for a knockout, and at times has been content to just let the points pile up.
Now Morales using his jab a little more to get in, and Bradley a little more stationary. Both men are
loading up his right.
Both men I mentioned have been 12 rounds. Morales twice and Bradley once, so the distance is not new to them. The right hand underneath by Morales.
Watch your head.
Bradley working on the inside, trying to make something happen, but has not been able to hurt Morales. And Morales turns the tables on him and goes to work.
And there's something about Bradley's fatigue there, too, as he couldn't move out of the way after trying his best work. Now he's in deep trouble.
And how about the use of the jab by Morales to set all that up? Very impressive. Richard Steele has stopped the fight. And Rudy Bradley shakes his head and says, yeah, that's okay. Rudy Bradley gave it his all tonight, but it was not enough. Erik Morales gets his 17th KO as a professional and his 21st win, and he shows you why people think he is a comer and a future champion.
It's hard to get him rattled. He kept his poise throughout this entire fight, and just before the finishing salvo, after Bradley let everything go, Bradley, who's the mover, couldn't move. His legs betrayed him. He's taken a lot in this fight, nothing left, and he sustained the barrage. Right after Bradley has done his best work, the jab setting up the work here. Look, very patient. The jab gives Morales his space, and then he lands the bomb.
I love the use of the jab by Erik Morales, because how many fighters a lot older than 19 years of age during all this would forget that weapon?
They would have leaped in with a left hook and thrown everything from the side, setting up the jab. Now, in the middle of a salvo, it's hard to think of technique. You usually forget it. He puts it together and shows a textbook way to finish a fight.
That sequence a moment ago may be the best reason why people believe this young man could be one of the greats in the next 5 to 10 years.
He had his balance. When he followed through, he was in position to punch again. And again, whether the knockout came or didn't, he didn't seem to care.
So an excellent performance by Erik Morales, and let's give credit to this man, Rudy Bradley, stepping up in weight, taking the fight on 5 days' notice. He not only did his best to win using his own strategy, he gave the fans something to look at as well.
And he fought well enough that if Morales had looked past him, he might have won the fight.
We'll take a look at the final numbers before we go up to Jake Gutierrez. And we'll find out a little bit more about the nature of this fight. Erik Morales, as you look at him, I mentioned he gets his 17th win. That's Bob Arum, the promoter. He would be happy that Morales won because he's ticketed for big fights. There's the numbers.
Again, Morales was up only by 4 punches after 3 rounds and just continued to turn up the steam. Threw a little bit less, landed a lot more. Exceptional percentage over the course of a long fight, 53%.
So it is a win for Erik Morales via TKO. Let's go to Jake Gutierrez to find out about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the 11th round at 1 minute 53 seconds, referee Richard Steele stops this bout. The winner, and still NABF Super Bantamweight Champion, Erik Terrible Morales.
Excellent win for Erik Morales. He stays undefeated. And who knows, he may have a date with Daniel Zaragoza coming up in the future, or whoever has the WBC title. Well, coming up, a guy whose left arm weighs as much as Erik Morales, Butterbean. He'll be back.